Welcome back to my Lancaster build, as you can see by the Lancaster. Right. That's more the angle anyway. So, last time I finished stage 24, which was the engine sections. Just those. Admittedly, they're not perfect, but nothing about this is going to be perfect. I think it's going to start off at bad and then gradually get worse. So next up is 25, which involves getting the two side engine or side sections of the nacelles. And sorry, now they are. I'm sorry, you want me to cut stuff out? Oh my, you won't. 86 in both cases. Whoops. That's more like it. Now, according to what I've got in front of me, the 86s aren't actually in need of being cut off. Come on, off you go. 86 and 74, which at the two sides already have the holes cut through for the engine exhausts. So I'm going to ignore the instructions. Which by all evidence are incorrect. Now there are 4 of these to be cut out, so which means these are the other 2. And at some point there is a 3rd section which I need to find, which is number 75. But yeah, if this involves any actual scalpel work, I'm in trouble. Partially because I don't have any scalpels of any for description. Okay, I do have them, but definitely not in here. So it's okay. Oh, and that one comes off silently. Now, this is part 75. And there are 2 of them. Just a little bit of not really too sure what to call that, because the sprue is the main thing that holds it, and that's not really part of it. Oh well. Let's go on with some cleaning, shall we? Oh, I cut that one. Whoops. I cut that one a little bit too deeply. Just got to do the other three. Where's my little grippers? Whoops. Just a little bit more to clean up. That's worked out what the blinding lights on my desk is. I had my upload page on YouTube showing. So bright. Just let me have dark, crazy people. There's one little bit left to get. Then we got one more after this. Admittedly, I don't need to do any of this, and I'm sure 90% of these kits, well, actually no, how many children still make these kits? I don't know. But with I know when I was a kid when I made these, I did not do this right. I mean, at no point would I have ever, filed off these little sections. I mean, ultimately it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't actually make a difference whether you file them off or not. So apparently these go together like this. Is that right? Yeah. And in the great tradition It doesn't fit. This is the point where I'm glad I did the slapdash job of this in the first place. Okay, so that'll come out. So evidently that's where it's supposed to go. Okay, so we get this bit, the engine, put in like this. So like that is what it's supposed to be like. So I think this is in the wrong order, that you should basically put it together like that. Because, I mean, that rail is nowhere near the right position. Now, will you actually close is the question. Or are you catching on? Wow, that stomach's unhappy today, isn't it? Ooh. Well, that does not want to seem to close properly. But it's good enough. Oh no, 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 no. And this is why dry fitting is so important. The hell? Okay, stop interfering. Okay, that seems to be closed now. And I'm not entirely sure I'm going to bother securing that engine because that's going to be secure on its own. The amount of force it's taking to keep that closed is, well, ridiculous. Okay, that was horrific. But whoops, kicking stuff over. So put a little tack along the bottom as well. Oh, and there's a back. I'd forgotten about the back. I'd been focusing on the front for so long I'd forgot there was a back to it. Okay. Oh no, don't fold over like that. That'll be a nightmare to get off. Okay, and that's one of the pods. Now my bet is this one's going to be no, this one's going to be no easier. Fortunately, I did a real bad job assembling these engines. So pop that one in there, then pop this over it. So I mean, it fits in just okay-ish, not just fine, but it fits in well enough without the bulkhead. So now just slip in the engine support. Oh no, it's this way up, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it's this way up. Oof, that felt a lot nicer. Where was that supposed to go? Where? So square side towards the front, like that? Oh. Well, that was supposed to go inside like that. In there. So, so I'm just going to install it on this one. And then I'm going to have to figure out a way to do it on the other one. I wonder how I'm going to get it in. Yeah, I can do that. Just make sure we don't have any glue on me. Oops. There's going to be some precision fitting done very quickly. Interesting, it doesn't actually fit. That's curious. It definitely looks like it should. Okay, it's good enough. So now we have the challenge of getting this in. There's a certain amount I wanted to stick my middle finger up at this thing right now. That one just went together. The last one I had to fight tooth and nail just to get it to move. This one, sure, I like being an engine. Just get the back as well. You know what, bubbles, you make it really difficult to spread the stuff properly. Oops. Swing chuck them there. Just check for any glue. Oh. So what was supposed to... Okay, but don't glue, but almost... There is nothing on the back, it's just a pin. So what's supposed to go on the back of that? Okay, apparently you're not supposed to stick it together until stage 27. And 105, which I strongly suspect is this. Yes. And 106, which... is it 106? 145. $145? Are you here? It's none of them. 145? Hello? So yeah, in short, I just messed it up. There's a part on here that I can't find, which is concerning, which is 145, which goes through the little holes in the centre of the engine cells at the front. And that is what allows them to rotate. But I neglected to fit them. Meaning that I can't actually make these have spinning propellers on the 2 inboard motors. Wow, those are awful. I guess they could work, but... wow, there was nothing in... yeah, that was never going to look good or work properly. Just looking at it, no. What? Okay, so the next section is to get these little bits that we've done and stick them on. Now, I don't think they're dry yet, so I'm going to skip on to part 30. Which is the next tuning cells. I don't see them working either. It'd take me hours to clean up the castings alone, just to get that to work. And the tolerances on them are really fine, and I don't trust glue not to mess that up. I do really appreciate the amount of detail on these models though, but I guess it gives me longer to make them with then. Make sure that bit doesn't fly off. Stomach, if you continue that. So I'm also going to need these 2 bits. I'm also going to need to work out a way to stick those props on because the stock solution I can't use anymore. Let's just clean these up. Hopefully by the end of this session I'll have the nacelle stuck on. But if I don't, I don't. There's no real need to rush these. Is that just bad molding or nope? It's amazing just how much smaller this nacelle is compared to the other. Oof, I've messed that up. That one's clean. That's way too much. I say the internals on these things are pretty sharp. So that's one engine. And we'll say that's the other. There it is. See, that's where I did wrong before. It's supposed to rest between the two of them. Like that. Whereas before when I sat them, it was right down the gap. Right. So those should be drying for a few minutes. Oops. I mean, that'll happen. Let's just drop these two off down here. Bring the dice back. And bring back the main body. If we pull that back there, oops, and pull this back by here, so it just doesn't go up to the edges. Like that, we should be able to install it without too much effort, without too much difficulty. I mean, I say that and then I know it will be. Oops, hook you over the top. Whoops. So the fit isn't perfect, as you'd imagine with something that I've built. You're a bit closer than I'd like. So we just put a little ring around here. Now hopefully this will just go on and not fight me too much. And in the ground tradition, tape it all down. Some glue around there. That bit really wasn't long enough. Is that actually okay? And hopefully with that amount of glue, it'll be enough. that's enough around there. So from there to there. That's a much nicer fit than the other one again. So let's just put glue in. So over that, down there, down there. It's one bit stuck down. Let's put a little seam of glue around the edge of the nacelle. And that looks absolutely awful. And we also seem to have lost our rear gun position. Which I've found out if you turn 90 degrees you can pull out. As long as you keep it a relatively straight on position, you'll be fine. Just put you down there. Whoops. Please treat like they're delicates, because they are. Okay, is there anything else I need to worry about? So I need to find the exhausts for these. And the air intakes, which are here. Now oddly, despite having details behind the air intakes, they are in fact solid air intakes with details on them. So they're obviously not supposed to be see-through. So why are you making me make details behind them? It's just, why? Well, that's the same as those engines. No one's ever going to see them, so I could have just done anything I wanted with them. As long as I got the exhausts poking out, no one will care. Okay, there's big wheels, which means that here's another 2 exhausts. Should we just tidy these up a bit? I don't think I'm going to be taking any of that glue off or any of that tape off fit today. So we'll get to see how it ended up tomorrow. Or next time. Just because I have to travel through time in the normal manner doesn't mean everyone else has to. I really hope there's like no little plug on the back of here that actually orients them. Because it'd be filed off. Also, I'm just going to be sticking the props onto the front. I'm not that bothered if they turn or not. I mean, we all know I'm lying and I would really want them to, but... Where are they? I mean, they genuinely just look like miscast plugs. You know the offcuts you get when you've got from moulding? It's those. Loads of little loose little bits of moulding everywhere. They look horrible. So that's one. So let's get you cleaned up. They look like they could work. And these are fine. These bits don't need to be so tidy. On all of the FX ones I've built, it's basically just a pin you stick in the back of the propeller. This one seems far too precision to actually be good, but there you go. And you end up with that assembly, which immediately sticks itself to your desk because if you're anything like me, you use too much glue. Oh well. So let's get these together. And yes, I did just realize where I messed up with that. Because I was supposed to give these a few minutes. And it already doesn't want to turn. That's like 10 seconds. Right. So we'll bring back the other one, because at this point we're wasting our time with that. But oh, look, its bear didn't file off properly. Okay, then we just drop this bit on top. Right. So I've left enough of that exposed to, I gotta say, this does look like a little fighter. There you go. That's more like it. Yeah, these little engine nacelles look very similar to the fighters of the day. Which gives me the impression that when they were designing these, they just went, right, get a fighter. If you get a fighter, yes, stick a bunch of them flying in close formation, strap it to a large body, and you've got a bomber. Stomach, do you need to do that? I've got it. You're unhappy. I know. Whoops. Okay, so that actually worked. Yeah, I didn't expect those end bits to stay in there well. Imagine if they were made by someone who was half competent. They'd be fine, but I'm not half competent, so. Just an enthusiastic amateur. Yeah, if you look design-wise, and no, that Spitfire doesn't have the same engine. To my knowledge, the Lancasters always had the same engine, and the Spitfires must have changed. Okay, it's going to be difficult to get off, but now with both the engines clear, okay, the next stage is stick on these, which is the air intakes, but I think I'm going to do that next time because screw it, I'll do it now. Get out of the glue. Let's get this bit out of the glue before it's present. A little bit along there, down here. I was expecting it to be a much more awkwardly fit piece, but this went on so easily I was just like, yeah, stick it on now. It's gonna look like an absolute abomination for a while. And then again when it's finished. But each of them go on to those, and those V-bits appear to just be guides, so we end up with them on like that. These ones go on a lot nicer than the last set, so... When I was looking at them, I was wondering why the nacelles were so much bigger for one of them and not the other. Now I know. Let's run another little seam round. Usually I'd prefer to use less tape, but this era of design, they had to add so much extra stuff to deal with the engines that you just have to use tape. Now they do seem to have gone on really nicely. Oh, whoops, that's nowhere near big enough. If anything, that is much too big. And there is my currently taped up Lancaster. Now hopefully next time that will all be dried and I can remove all the tape safely. So let's just mark up how far we've got. I say we've done that. We've attempted 26. So 28 we've done, as well as 29. Nope, we haven't done 29. Okay, 30 we've done. 31 we've done. We've nearly done. And 32 we may as well have done. As well as 33. Oof. So in fact what we need to do is a bit of 31 and a little bit of 32 because I made a mistake when I said I'd done them. Plus a bit of 29. And with that, I'm going to call it a night, and hopefully I'll be back again soon. It was about 4 weeks that was left for last time when I stopped, so you never know. Okay. Hope you've enjoyed, and bye.